Nicandro. Good morning, everyone. It's 10:30 a.m. on August 22nd, and we are the August 2nd 11 protesters who blocked the U.S. mission across from the the United Nations in order to call for nuclear disarmament. And we first want to thank the National Lawyers Guild and and Mr. Iannacci and Mr. Iannacci, our lawyer, for guiding us through the whole process. And we have gotten a adjournment in contemplation of dismissal. And we are very happy about that because we have more work to do to stop nuclear weapons from proliferating and for the dangers that we face. So each of us is going to say a couple of words about why we did it, and we'll start with John. So introduce yourself. My name is Sally Jones. I'm from Peace Action, New York State, and I'm going to pass it to John.
Okay, could you hold the...
Yeah, I'll hold it.
40 years ago, 1,700 protesters sat down in the doorways of the missions to the United Nations of the 5 major nuclear powers: US, Soviet Union, China, Britain, and France. Their arrest put a spotlight on the countries responsible for the terror of the Cold War and proliferation of Armageddon-based military power. The coalition that sponsored this mass civil disobedience followed the largest anti-nuclear demonstration in American history that filled Central Park with 1 million people. This 1982 demonstration followed the first nuclear bomb explosion in 1945 by 38 years. In these next 38 years, the world's nuclear powers amassed over 57,000 nuclear warheads. In 1982, the world's attention was focused on the hair-trigger danger of the possibility of unimaginable destruction. So here we are today, 40 years later, after 1982, people have come to accept nuclear weapons as just matters of fact. Thousands of disaster movies later, people have grown accustomed to experience horror as a popular form of entertainment. The Department of War is now known as the Department of Defense, and its publicists devote much effort to hiding the truth of what it does while it soothes the public into accepting the logic and the expense of the people's war machine. Now 11 people have been arrested blocking the door of the U.S. mission to the UN, and their action has received almost no attention, even from progressives in progressive media outlets. Today, the press in America talks about Trump's big lie about him winning the election. But we need to remind people of a greater untruth. The big lie of militarism and of the continuing arms race has 2 parts. 1, that nuclear weapons offer safety, and that 2, guns provide freedom. Such lies need to be challenged and resisted with the power of nonviolence. Militarism is the biggest lie, and all of us need to stop it. No nukes for life and for planet.
No nukes. No nukes. Just take a moment.
Just quickly, to carry on our message of no nukes, no nuclear weapons, no nuclear power for life and for planet, to stop climate change, ending war would make a huge difference. And no war, what? No war, not with my body, not with my mind, and not with my money. Don't pay taxes for the Pentagon.
Thank you, Ruth Ben.
Oh, I didn't say my name.
Ruth Ben.
Ruth Ben, thank you.
Hi, Mike Levinson. I work with the New York City local chapter of the War Resisters League. In the background here is Federal Square. 50 years ago, in 1973, I attended my first protest sponsored by the War Resisters League. The revolutionary struggle for peace and justice in the world takes a lifetime.
Thank you, Mike. At no time in human history have we been this close to nuclear oblivion, and yet shame on our country, our government, the U.S., that refuses to even sit down at the table and talk about peace and talk about the banning of nuclear weapons. Shame, shame. And I'm proud to stand with these people, and I'm proud for the jail support that was there for us. Nidia, Leaf, come over here, Nidia. Yes, you were here. Zool, come over here. Thank you. And Felton Davis, part of the Catholic Worker for over 30 years. He doesn't want to be on the camera right now. That's fine. Thank you.
What about Eric?
Eric, where's Eric? Thank you.
Yay! Yay to all. So, I'm Alice Sturm Sutter, and I'm a retired family nurse practitioner, and I've been protesting most of my life because there's so much to protest. I'm a raging granny, and I just don't know. I mean, how can I say why I was there? I was there because I want to have a planet, because I don't want everything to blow up, because I don't want to have radiation all over the planet till eternity. I mean, you know, and you wonder why everybody else isn't there and why we had so many before. And I think, like John said, we've just come to accept this as normal, and that is really frightening. I mean, it's insane to accept this. So thank you all who joined us. I appreciate our company, everybody.
I'm going to run to the end.
Can you mention Ed? You mentioned Ed.
Before we go on, we have somebody else to thank who's standing way in the back there taking pictures. Ed Hedeman from New York City War Resisters League. Thank you. And then just pass it.
Hi, I'm Craig Simpson from Boston, Massachusetts. I was born 6 months after the first explosions on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and so my whole life has been wrapped up in nuclear war, and I've been fighting against it. I got arrested in Moscow. I got arrested at Sandia Weapons Lab in New Mexico, and now here at the UN. And we need to take these dramatic actions at this point, because they're refusing to disarm, and we need to do it now. So let's get moving on this all-important movement.
Thank you, Craig.
I'll give that to you. I'll take this.
My name's Richie Marini.
Louder, we want to hear you.
My name's Richie Marini. I'm with an organization called The World Can't Wait. I took part because, as a citizen of a country, the only country to ever use nuclear weapons in the past, I felt I had an obligation to take part. A world with nuclear weapons is not a world that's capable of supporting humanity or the planet.
Last words.
My name is John Mark Rosendahl. I got into this action through the organization Extinction Rebellion. It's an organization that is sponsoring non-direct, non-violent actions in support of climate justice. I come from a family that has been involved in non-direct action, in civil disobedience. My parents were war tax resistors, and they were prosecuted for that, and they were part of the movement that used civil obedience to actually end the Vietnam War. So it works. I know that it works. Right now, the Pentagon, the U.S. War Department, is one of the greatest threats to the world for what they are doing to accelerate climate change, the climate disaster that's coming to us. And they're one of the greatest sources of the economic injustice that we live with now. We live in one of the richest nations in the world, and we have people who can't eat, people who don't have homes, people who can't get health care. This is unspeakably immoral. So that's why I was there on August 2nd, and that's why I second every word that every one of my comrades here has said.
Thank you, John. Thanks, and thank you, everybody. Thanks for the support that we got. That we felt like we were part of a family. Thank our lawyer, thank our jail support, thank all of the people that were there on August 2nd. We really thank you. And I just want to say, what if we didn't do this? What if no one stood up against nuclear weapons? What if no one went to jail? What if, that's what we need to think about. Like, what are we willing to do? But what if we're willing to do nothing? What would the world be? So I just want to leave you with that note. So thank you. Woo!